Now, I'm sure we're about to get a lot of videos on why the Blumhouse trilogy failed or disappointed the fandom. And already there's a narrative shaping up that it began so good, but then it declined slowly, till now nobody really likes it, and only a small part of the fandom really approves of the trilogy as a whole. But it's interesting, even people who liked ends or even kills do kind of admit this trilogy as a whole doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Now, I'll just state my position has always been consistent. I didn't like 2018. I didn't like Kills. And I don't really like Ends. I haven't really liked this entire trilogy, period, from the get go. In fact, I'm really shocked that people think 2018 is now allegedly such a great film in comparison to Ends. I kind of think they're all pretty stupid and bad. But it's different kinds of stupid. It's different kinds of bad. I would agree. 2018 is slightly better than Ends. So what? Still garbage. I'm a little confused about the revisionism that's occurring right before my eyes. I'm not going to name names here, but don't worry, I will be looking back at a lot of 2018 reviews and wondering where were people when this allegedly was declining and they didn't say anything. I'm a little confused why people are so upset because from the get go, they kind of give you a lot of hints. They don't care about Michael, they don't care about Halloween, they don't really care about the mythology. The only consistency I can find in this trilogy, frankly, is Jamie Lee Curtis. Laurie always looks like a hero, and Halloween Ends at least try to say, well, maybe she's a bit of a monster, maybe she has a dark side, but they don't pursue that. They give you a few lines of dialogue. That's about it. Maybe she has also dark magic powers. So the only real thematic unity is Laurie is a hero, Laurie did good, Michael bad, she's a great hero and noble. We need to stand behind her. Michael, Tommy, Loomis, everything is subordinate to that. Nothing else is really consistent. Michael is not consistent. Tommy's not consistent. Loomis is not consistent. The mythology is not consistent. And what's really shocking to me is they're saying they're building off of Halloween 1. That can't be correct because in 2018, which a lot of people liked, he killed a ton of people. And in Kills, Michael Myers had killed just a handful, and he was fairly efficient and quick about it. But with 2018 in Kills, he just goes into this very elaborate fashion. It's really sadistic and now has this weird window fetish. Why'd he kill all these people? He liked a window, apparently. In the first one, it's kept really mysterious why Michael did what he did. Maybe that's not a good story. I think it is. But it is what it is. That is the story. But with 2018 and Kills and now Ends, he's some kind of weirdo demonic spirit. He's an evil legacy. He is a boogeyman, but then he's a human. He's obsessed with a radio tower. He's obsessed with a window. Like, he doesn't seem to have any consistency. So he's basically just a guy in a mask. They give him a knife. He goes around destroying stuff for whatever the plot has to be for that particular film, even though the plots together contradict one another all the time. And it's funny, even people who like these films kind of admit they don't even make sense in the first two films. Because, and this is shocking, I looked at Wolfio's video, who is very pro Blumhouse, and he says, well, wait, this doesn't make sense. Tommy and all these survivors gather up at the bar, apparently every year, but Laurie is missing. And Laurie doesn't mention these survivors or their weirdo group. So it's like, wait, yeah, that can't be right. So in 2018, it seems like she's obsessed with Michael and is very unique. But then in Kills, a ton of people are obsessed with Michael Myers, and they even have their own group and they're ready to form a lynch mob. It's like, wait, that can't make sense. Even if you're pro Blumhouse. And by the way, I'm not even anti Blumhouse. I like what they did with Glass and M. Night Shyamalan. But in terms of the Michael Myers trilogy, clearly Blumhouse just took this as a financial opportunity. From that basis, I guess you can say they did a good job. They made money for themselves, and, I guess they're satisfied with that. But if you're a Halloween fan, I'm like, why did they resurrect or allegedly redeem Michael or save everyone or honor cinema? I'm not getting any of that from this trilogy. It just seemed it was what it was. They took Michael as a license, they did what they wanted with him, and then threw him away. They didn't really care about Michael. I don't even think at the end of the day they care about Laurie. It just seems like this is just a contract. They fulfilled the contract. They're done. And now some fans are getting mad because they're like, I can't believe Blumhouse disappointed me. Why? They never promised you that they were going to honor Michael or Halloween. All they said was like, yeah, we really liked the first film, and then the other films were really stupid. We're going to work with John Carpenter on this. Yeah, but John Carpenter is on the record. He doesn't care about Halloween. After the first one, he tells us, like, I'm not really invested in Halloween anymore. I'm invested in the first film, but afterwards, I don't really care anymore. So it's not Carpenter. Carpenter's on the record. Like, he's clocked out. It's like, if you want to talk about the first film, he likes talking about that. But afterward, he's like, I'm not really interested in Michael anymore. Saying that Carpenter is co-signing this is kind of like, it's kind of a wink nod technique, saying, hey, the creator is with us. But yeah, the creator himself is telling us that he's not really invested in this entire thing after the first film. So it's always been built on propaganda and lies. I'm just a little concerned that the people who are pumping up the trilogy from the get go are doing all this weird revisionism saying, yeah, I'm really surprised they went in this direction. Why? They never told you they would be consistent in the first place. They were just like, if the first one makes money, we'll do more films. And they just told us out of nowhere, say, hey guys, we got a trilogy. That was not the intention. The only reason we have a trilogy is the first one made money. That's all this thing has ever been about, is making money. And now that they're making money, quote, being disrespectful to Michael, if you like the Blumhouse trilogy, you should still like it because they weren't honoring Michael in the first one. They were just using his brand name. Now people are like, well, they're not honoring the brand name. Well, I don't think they ever intended to. They only cared about the money. So I'm really surprised people are just turning on Blumhouse now because it's like, well, they never really cared about this thing in the first place. They only cared about the money. I think they've been upfront, frankly. They said, this is just a financial opportunity. That's it. And to say, well, they should care about the mythology, but that's not why they did it. They only cared about the financial end of it. Halloween is strong female warrior, stands up, beats up bad guy in a mask. And it's like, well, I think the mythology is more complex than that. But then you see this trilogy. That's all it is. Heroic woman stood up, man in mask bad, man in mask dead. It's okay to hate Halloween Ends now because it's popular, but I do find it surprising a lot of people are saying, yeah, the Blumhouse people kind of disappointed me. How? Why? When? I would like some receipts on that. That's my only question.